Warm welcome, this is Marcus Termin at the 12th of November 2024. The moon is in the sign of Aries and the sun is in the sign of Scorpio. That's not exactly a comfortable position. Moon is in the sign that is ruled by the planet of Mars, and the sun is in the sign that is ruled by the two guys Pluto and Mars from the old times. We always have to keep the old times in mind. And that means those signs don't work together very well, though they are being ruled both by the planet of Mars. And Mars himself went to Leo. Mars is not out for compromises really in the sign of Leo. He holds an opposition to Pluto, a wide opposition, which is not an opposition in between signs, because Pluto, as you remember, did not change signs yet. He will move over to Aquarius at the 16th of November. Is it 16th or 19th? 16th, I think. All right, that's basically the situation. This situation, moon in Aries and sun in Scorpio, is not comfortable. What's the point? As moon went over to the sign of Aries, this means he's at the start of the zodiac and he's out for trouble in Aries if he's not controlled, actually. And it's difficult to control this moon. Second, which is in my view the most important aspect of the day, is the square position in between Mercury himself being in the sign of Sagittarius, and there's a square position to Saturn in the sign of Pisces. That is not too good for any kind of treaty, for negotiation, for having an outcome. Mercury in the sign of Sagittarius actually is longing for the deal with adventure. Let's make a deal. Mercury is the god of movement, intelligence, but also the thieves, anything like that. And it's in a square position to Saturn. Saturn is, as always, dissolving structures in the sign of Pisces. And so this does not work very well. You can't have an outlook with Mercury in the sign of Sagittarius if there's a heavy, wet, watery break, pulling from not from the other side, but from the square position. That's basically the situation. As moon shifted over to Aries, to Aries, it right away made a square to Venus in the sign of Sagittarius. Now let's go over to the picture. I do it a quick one. Those of you who are more interested in watching somebody talking to you than looking at a sheet of paper, but there are so many astrologers out there these days. This is Venus. Venus came over from the side of Sagittarius, and you can see the moon in the sign of Aries, also a cardinal sign, that's a quick one, that's just this morning, but was in a square position. Venus in the sign of Capricorn makes a difference for the earth powers. Venus wants to get settled earthly. That means she loves power. Venus in the sign of Capricorn loves power. And as you know, we have a power shift, and this is going to be a big one this time. So this is what is happening out there actually. If we look at the situation out there in the skies, it's always helpful to have an example of persons who have to live these positions in their own chart. And there is a person in public. It's always a little difficult to show charts of publicly known figures, but this person is touching other people's private life so deeply. you know, by his idea of sticking this and sticking that and doing some things with mosquitoes and needles and stuff like that. He's a Scorpio and he has the moon in the sign of Aries. Let's call him Mr. G. You know probably whom I'm talking about. His first name is Bill, so I'm not gonna say clear names here because the censorship is still out there. We're gonna end that the new administration said so, but are they going to be able to do it? Because the king is residing in the capital and the country is big, so positions are being occupied by people who still have an idea of secret censorship. Even this is still happening at Twitter, of course. It's not, they didn't pull the ropes loose yet, and hopefully they will do. But you might know who this person is by as I'm talking about that, he's a person of luck in the sense of having this Pluto and Jupiter conjunction at the very end of Leo, so this is a very rich person. It's connected to his second house, to the house of wealth. He has a rising Sagittarius, Capricorn, which is not comfortable really, because this is the sign of when it's at the rising point, somebody thinks that he's really, the world should really honor him, somehow. They have to get over that, and there are a lot of Capricorn rising persons out there who got over that, but having a character with the combination, and this is what I'm talking about, moon in Aries and the sun in the sign of Scorpio, this gets out a complicated character, difficult to live, not easy to live. This is the thing. And as we are Christians, you know that we should pray for our enemies and wish them the best. I do so with Bill, and hope you give me company for that, because this is real Christianity. It's not just keeping the peace in the middle of something, but it's praying for your enemies. Pray for them. Really wish them the best. Get out of bad vibes. Get out of bad moods. Pray for your enemies. This is what Christianity really is, and this is one of the person that makes it really, really challenging to do so. He popped up in German television at Easter Sunday, and they gave them 9 minutes a few years ago to tell everybody that they are going to stick something in them, and that's Scorpio, 100%. So I'm not sure how his personal soul and conscience and what's behind the curtain, but he's really in the focus of getting in the focus of something. I'm not talking about some lists, and I'm not talking about divorce and blah blah blah. Did I say he's Capricorn rising? No, he's not. He's Cancer rising. Sorry, I turned that around because because this sheet of paper appears to me on the other side around. This is about photography. So sorry, he's Cancer rising. He's not Capricorn rising. This is why this is his second house. The second house is, of course, on this side. Hope you get this right anyway. This is Markus Termin speaking to you at the 12th of November. If you want to get in contact, I'd be happy about that. You can choose this mail address. Just send me time, place, and date where you were born, and you get the chart picture, the pure graphics. You get that back for free. Maybe I write 1 or 2 sentences because I always have a look at it and want to know what kind of character approaches me, and what's the real problem, or what's the real challenges, or what's the real goodies in the chart. And if you want to have a consultation, you'll find the price of it down here. It's all written in German, but you have those fancy little translators on the computers everywhere, so we can do that internationally. And I send you a Zoom link so we can have a recording and everything like that. Thank you for listening today. It's the 12th of November 2024.